Hello everyone, I'm Fail, and today I'll be talking about Forza Horizon 5, and specifically some of the many things wrong with it. Things that it seems a large part of the community, and certainly larger media outlets, seem to ignore or just straight up deny, which in my experience isn't helpful. We don't need to come to game developers' defense whenever someone complains. We need to praise them when they do something good, which, while I won't really go into that during this video, the Forza devs often do. However, it is our job to criticise them when they do something wrong. So here we go. Please leave any opinions you may have or your own criticisms down in the comment section, because, well, I'd love to have some debate on the subject. But first, why should you listen to me of all people? I'm not a programmer, I'm not a developer, and I'm certainly not a professional reviewer of any sort. What I am, however, is a fan. I mean, let's be real, who else would sing a 12 Days of Christmas parody inspired by a game? But right here, right now, I'm finding it hard to be a fan. There's so many things wrong with the last two Horizon games, it's hard to keep track, and it just seems so sad how much wasted potential's involved. It's hard to know where to start. I mean, there's loads of minor complaints, but we'd be here forever talking about how there aren't any split times in races, or that you can't start custom routes wherever you want. Or even just stupid stuff like the lack of variety in the auction house. I mean, no, I don't want to buy a stock Chevy Courgette. I think we should go back to the start. And by the start, I mean the very start. The release of Forza Horizon 5. The cause of a bad taste that hasn't yet left my mouth. It took forever to join convoys, and online was broken for weeks. I know this problem isn't specific to Forza, so I'm not going to go on about it. Instead, enjoy this footage of Forza being broken at launch. Now let's say the game worked, which eventually it did. You were immediately faced with a choice of cars, or at least you were in previous games. You had to choose one of 3 old, cheap or not particularly fast cars which you then use to win some races and then upgrade. Win some more races, buy a faster car. Win some more races and repeat. Every new car you earned was an achievement, something to be cherished. What car you bought next mattered, because it had a direct impact on what you'd be able to do and what you wouldn't. So it was a simple progression system, but it worked, and made the first 20 or so hours really rewarding. But this is previous games we're talking about. For Horizon 5, the latest installment, the teams behind Forza decided on a different approach. Chucking progression out of the window and giving us a wide-body supercar, a modern off-roader, and a sports car. And instead of having to choose one, we were given all 3 of them immediately. What is there to strive towards? I mean, I'd like a Lamborghini Centenario, but it's not exactly hard to get because the difference in rewards between losing and winning is not noticeable. There is one, but it doesn't matter. This is just one of many things that have been dumbed down. Dumbing down is one of the main crimes Forza Horizon 5 has committed in my opinion, an opinion others I have spoken to agree with. The story modes are really easy to freestyle compared to Forza Horizon 4's, and are absolute child's play compared to some of Horizon 3's bucket list challenges, which on a personal note I vastly prefer, but that's probably to do with the fact that it wasn't just a rinse and repeat of the same 8 challenges in different cars. But also, because for me personally, feel free to object or agree in the comments, but there's no reason for people to be talking in the background of racing games, especially if there's no actual story involved. Also, maybe I've just improved, but I'm convinced the highly skilled driver tiles in particular are just easier than they used to be. For another of what I'll be labelling crimes, I'll hand you over to a good friend and fellow Forza YouTube person, Petrol 13.
One of my biggest problems with Forza Horizon 5 is the continuous recycled content they keep adding through the festival playlist, whilst pretending it's all brand new. There are continuous streams of prize vehicles that were already in previous games that were obviously omitted from the car list at launch just so that they could be re-added and so that Playground Games could pretend they're actually new. I have no problem with the cars themselves, just that they should have been in the game from day one. Yes, they do also occasionally add cars that are actually new, but increasingly infrequently, and for example in Series 10, adding 10 variations of the same Extreme E car is not 10 new cars, Forza. Speaking of the Extreme E, that and the new Cupra being the only cars from 22 is just poor from Forza. Not necessarily because I have a problem with those cars, but only 2 vehicles from this year in the game? Really? And the Horizon Anniversary series, consisting of only recycled prize cars and a Viper with a dining table on the back and a few stickers, was incredibly disappointing. If they can't even add new content for their own 10th birthday, that kind of says all you need to know. And don't even get me started on the Donut Media themed series. The current Horizon holidays and Forzathon updates aren't so bad, but we're not exactly inundated with new cars, and a Ford themed month with no new Fords is an interesting choice to say the least. And that's just talking about the cars. There are other features that are getting recycled, such as the Rocket Bunny kits that were hyped up ridiculously as brilliant new content, only for us to find they were all recycled from Horizon 3 and 4, with not even one new kit introduced.
Thank you very much for that, Petrol. I'd definitely recommend checking out his video, by the way, where he goes in depth on racing game updates in general getting worse. This will be linked in the description, it's worth a watch. Right, I've been pushing this out of the way for a while because the chances are that the Forza devs can't actually do much about it. But that doesn't stop it being rather annoying. Forza Horizon 5's online.
Oh, a bit of...
Oh,
Failgames is now the convoy. Fail, why have you left?
No!
that's Clipper.
What? Not for f***'s sake!
Can you miss another?
Oh.
Why does it take longer to connect to a convoy than it did in Horizon 3? Why, when in online races, does it take longer to start a race than to finish it? Well, in part, due to Xbox One's having to connect, and another part due to people with slow internet, but surely, even with that, it could be faster. Now let's say you haven't died of boredom in the loading screens, you then get into a race which goes well thanks to the absolutely brilliant high-speed collision detection system, and even though you and you alone had to deal with rainy conditions for some reason. No one else had them, it was just you. That's how Forza works apparently. Then you get into another race, where someone decides that in fact you deserve to die. They then push you into a wall, in itself annoying, and then Forza, in its infinite wisdom, decides that you should receive a wall slowdown. Now this is one of the most infuriating things in the world. Now the cause of stopping wall riding is a noble one, but surely you could do something to the wall itself, or the friction of the car, to stop wall riding ever being an option? And by saying that, I've now reminded myself of all the sticky out invisible walls which kill you if you go anywhere near them. Okay, in a hysterical turn of events, in the time it took me to write the script, I was watching a live stream of Petrol's, and within the short time frame that it took me to write that, someone on Xbox got banned for using cheat software. He says wrongly, and I'll be honest, I believe him. And Forza has yeeted them out of a session. Like, all of them.
It's Alan or Akira, Alan?
It's a late.
Oh,
What?
crap, I've been...
You've been disconnected.
All of us. We
Oh.
disconnected.
Hey?
And a couple of minutes later, this happens.
Get back
Oh.
now. Don't dance in. It's fine.
I keep getting disconnected.
Can I start it?
No,
What? Oh,
it's
sorry.
broken. Well, you can. Oh, no, now you can. It says finding session anyway. Oh! Matchmaking was cancelled because your convoy changed. For God's sake.
Another thing that happened while writing this is that I discovered a list of issues FH5 won't fix or are by design. A lot of these are justified, but then there's stuff like sometimes rewind does not work more than once. That seems like a problem. Or Hot Wheels. Some cars clip through track and loops at high speeds, which makes them slow down when playing online. Or why isn't that being fixed? If you're interested, I have a page linked in the description down below. Okay, so this video is getting a bit long, but, well, I have many more things to complain about. So what we'll do is I'll have them scrolling through on your screen now. And on that note, I do hope you enjoyed this video. Special thanks to Purple Petrol 13 for his input, and thank you very much for watching this video. I'd be very interested in any opinions you have on the subject of Forza Horizon 5 and, well, what they do good as well as what they do bad. Because let's not forget, a lot of what the devs do is brilliant. I honestly think I don't go into that enough in this video, but a lot of this stuff just had to be said. Other than that, don't forget to like this video and subscribe, as well as ding the notification bell. I'd really appreciate that. And have a nice day. See you in another video. Goodbye.